But I want you to know this. I prayed for this and it happened.
How you doing, guys? How you doing, guys? We're gonna be playing that clip this whole season before the games end. Why am I playing it? We were in the mud as a city team. We were like 3rd points behind, and then miracles started to happen. Good miracles started to happen for us. Arsenal dropped points the same day as Liverpool dropped points. Then Liverpool dropped points against Everton. So now, guess what? City have got a game in hand actually, and we beat Brighton. This is the reaction we're going to do, and welcome Pitch Points, Carl. And then we're going to go over Arsenal if we win the other game. But obviously, Arsenal play before us. They're going to be playing Spurs away. They'll play before us, I think, at 2 o'clock UK time. Then we play on later on. But right now, as we speak, City are in a good place. So we're going to talk about it. Carl, how you doing? Are you here?
I am here, Patrick. Good morning.
I'm good, man. Did you get to see the whole game yesterday?
I did. I got to see the whole game. My son was sick yesterday, so we watched the game together. He didn't go to school. But yeah, I watched the game.
Yeah, so looking at the game yesterday, obviously we all know that Brighton play expansive football. I know they lost, but I still say big up to them. I like De Zerbi as a manager. I was looking at how Brighton was still managing to outplay City in certain moments where they were holding possession of the ball, making very good passes. Only they were very bad in the final third. That shows the Brighton season. This season, it's been hard for them. Ever since, let's just say, De Zerbi, most times at Brighton, they struggle sometimes to score goals. Obviously, they're missing McAllister, who went over to Liverpool. He used to be one of the creators. Pascal Gloss, is it Gloss or Glove, whatever his name is? He's very good at creating, but he didn't have a chance in this game. Mitoma is injured. I was wondering where Mitoma has been this season. Ferguson is injured. The left back they have, is it Espenia or whatever his name is? He's injured. But they had a decent team, and I was so impressed by that keeper, Carl. I don't know if you saw the keeper, the way he was very comfortable with the ball from the back.
Yeah, I saw it. They're a good team. They're a decent team. They just came up against a better team on a bad day for them. So, but yeah, I thought very interesting game. Very, very interesting game. We'll talk about the formations, what I learned about that, which is really interesting. But yeah, good keeper, good team. Unfortunate on the day.
Yeah. So what was your how would you assess this game? You said you want to talk about formations. How do you assess this game? Because first of all, when the lineup came, the City lineup, what did you pick out of it? Because I was confused. I was trying to set up the whole formation, saying how are we going to play? Is it going to be Foden in the wings? Is it going to be Bernardo Silva? But somehow, when the game started, it was KDB drifting as a left winger. Then it was Kyle Walker drifting as the right winger and keeping that width. And then we had Bernardo Silva shifting around. And then we have Foden also shifting around down the middle. Bernardo Silva, Kovacic, and Rodri were forming like a triangle 4, the one you keep talking about, down the middle, trying to suffocate the Brighton midfielders. It was just fluid football. And then we didn't even have a vocal point because I think those moments I was telling people that this game could have also suited Haaland. I was looking at it because with the players we had, I think Haaland, as much as he's an extra body, I think he could have suited him because those moments where I was telling Alvarez to run through the middle, but he was running to the side, and then there was nobody for De Bruyne to just put a through middle pass. Why I'm saying that is I was seeing the Brighton defenders, they had a gap between them, right? I was like, Haaland runs through that gap. But overall, maybe it was looking like this and all this space was there because of the way Alvarez was dragging to the left and dragging the defender that side. But I saw moments where it was Foden who was through on goal through the middle. I saw moments where it was De Bruyne again through in the middle. I just didn't understand. But what was going on yourself when you watched this game? Because it looks like there's a lot of interchanging. Again, Kovacic looked incredible. Those moments, Kovacic was playing holding midfielder and Rodri was actually attacking. And I sat there like, is this the reason why City want Bruno? Because apparently they want Bruno as a deep lane midfielder.
I don't know.
Do they want Bruno because they want?
I don't see the Bruno thing. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't think he has the technical skill to play the way we want to play. I don't see it. He's okay, but I don't see it. Energy, lots of running, but I don't see he has the ability to be like the Rodri type, in my opinion. But what I saw from the game was interesting. I think for me was when I saw the lineup, I was like, wow, no winger. Okay, what's he trying to do? Is he playing Foden central? Is he playing Foden wide? Is it right? But the moment it changed for me was when the moment it clicked was when I saw Kovacic on the field, and that's when I realized that he's going to play 2 double sixes, right? And then he's going to play Walker and Josko as wing backs. That's what. So he's going to play 3-2-5, right? Where we have literally we have Ake, Akanji, and maybe Rodri as part of the back three. Have Kova, right? De Bruyne and Foden as 2 number 10s who float around the middle. And then you have Alvarez floating as well on that kind of left side, combined with Josko. And then you have Walker on the right-hand side. And Bernardo also in the middle as well. So almost played 5 or 6 midfielders in the middle of the field to congest the middle and press, and then use the width of Walker and Josko to attack the byline or the outside to pull the ball in, which is what happened. Which is exactly what happened. So in the middle of the field, the rotation between Rodri, Kovacic, and Bernardo was incredible. Right? Every single time when Walker goes forward, it's one of those three making part of the back three. So Walker and Josko bump forward, you would see it's going to be Akanji, Ake, or Bernardo, or it's Akanji, Rodri, and Ake. It's one of those three, or Kovacic, Ake, and what's his name, Akanji. It's one of those three, always in the middle to make that back three, allowing Walker and Josko to play on the outside. Really ingenious. And then every time Bernardo drops in the middle again to help support one of those two. It was really good rotation amongst all the midfielders in the middle. Congest the middle, play out wide, get the goals.
And can we give credit to this defensive pairing? They usually keep clean sheets. You know that, right?
Absolutely. This pairing. You see the pace that Akanji had to catch up with that guy? I was like, is that Walker? No, that's Akanji.
He's been very underrated. This guy was bought for 16-15 million, and Akanji has been performing. And I've noticed he's better on the ball now because I saw him run into midfield, make those bombing runs like John Stones, dribble past, and actually make a good key pass. And he's become very comfortable to jump into that midfield because I thought it would never click, but it looks like it's clicked. Ake was so good that I didn't even realize Ake was playing. That's how good he was. Sometimes this pairing of Ake and Akanji, I think, gets highly underrated, and highly ignored. These two defenders are class, and Akanji has started showing up like a world-class defender, let's be honest. And the improvement of Ake and the way also sometimes there's stability in the back line for the fact that we didn't have a leader like Diaz. Diaz was on the bench. And then you talk about Josko, who I can't wait to see him as a proper centre-back, but as a left-back, he's also cooking very well. Josko is becoming a very, very stable player. You even saw the video circling around on Twitter where Pep went to him, they were smiling and hugging. It's just when City are set up a certain way, it's going to be a good game. We know yourself that when it's also set up a certain way, we know there's issues. That's why I'm telling you, Carl, that yesterday I was still thinking that you still throw Haaland with the setup of the midfielders we have, we were going to win that more than 4. You know what I mean? Because I think those opportunities, I was like, somebody has to be down the middle, but there was nobody. But I was like, the thing is, this is what I've told people. A player like Haaland, right, as bad as people say, he's been in recent games, you need certain tools behind him. You need a solid midfield. You need a midfield that holds the ball. When they hold the ball, De Bruyne is free to get the ball, sees Haaland through on ball. But you don't need a very light midfield. I don't know if you understand. It's very light, where you're like, we're going to get attacked here. We're going to get attacked here easily. It's just how it is. Because I remember that Haaland thing was working very well because John Stones was tucking into midfield. Gundogan was there to sweep up. And then De Bruyne was just free to look for Haaland. And sometimes Gundogan could also look for Haaland. It's just that there's been a change recently. So I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I don't know if Haaland would have generated the same result as we did yesterday. I'll be very honest. I think that the reason why we're able to play yesterday like that, if Haaland plays the game yesterday, right, we don't know if we get that kind of result. Think about what Alvarez does yesterday, right? Alvarez floats left, central, right. He's moving around the whole field. Haaland doesn't really do that, right? Haaland is more of a static forward who drops in once in a while. But because we have the fluidity with Alvarez on the left, dropping left and right, we're able to kind of rotate around the whole field easily. Haaland doesn't do that traditionally. So I think yesterday, we seem to be really, really balanced, playing this, what I call double false nine with KDB and Foden into the box. I don't know if Haaland does that. Does that mean Haaland is bad? No. Does it mean we won't score goals? We probably will. But we just seem to be a bit more fluid when he's not there and somebody else there. Think about, the last games he hasn't played. Palace, 4-1. Villa, 4-1. Yesterday, again, 4-0. Right? Without Erling, and all of a sudden, the team seems to be getting goals from all over the field and seem to be more balanced. So I don't know. It's a problem for Pep to solve, not me. But that's what I can say.
Okay, let me just say. So, Skills says, big up to you, Skills. Forest need to back the bus. McKinnon Way says, afternoon to you, Martin. KDB won't let you bench him, Patrick. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm still sticking to my opinion that next season he might need to see more of the bench and play certain games because he needs to be managed. When he's fresh like this, he's more dangerous. But when you try to play him so many games, he does look leggy. So yeah, I know he want maybe he keeps watching my videos and is like, I'm gonna prove Patrick wrong. Patrick, why are you stingy with the link? I'm not stingy with the link. Let me send it to you. I'm not being stingy with the link. Let me send you the link. Don't smoke. I'm not being stingy. Wait for a minute. Guys, like the video. So, Kao, who was your stand-up performer yesterday? Out of the City players, who impressed you the most?
I don't know to pick out, mate. I don't know. I think if I was to pick out one person yesterday, it has to be Philip Foden. Phil Central is just incredible. I mean, this argument it's not even a debate between him and Bellingham. It's not even a debate. And it's like trying to compare Messi with somebody else. There's just no comparison between the two. There's none. The guy is on a different level, completely different level. Phil Central, the way he moves on the ball, his first connection with the ball, the ability to kind of smell the goal and be there. It has to be him. It has to be him. And to see KDB and Phil together in central midfield was a joy to watch. Absolute joy to watch. It was incredible to see Bernardo, Phil, and KDB. I mean, give me that lineup every single day, and then to have the ability, right, to throw in Jack and Jeremy, after like 60, 70 minutes, and then let them play inside. To watch them play inside was another joy again to watch. It was really incredible, really, really good.
Yeah, but does it? I said this Phil Foden and KDB. Am I wrong to say it only works when Kovacic is in there also, like yesterday? Because I think Foden, KDB, Rodri, does that work? Just if it's a plain, let's say for instance we play Kevin, KDB, Rodri, and then we've got Jack Grealish and Doku as wingers. Don't we see more open sometimes? Or September, when counters are coming, we're like we get countered more. Because yesterday I saw control. We didn't get countered a lot yesterday.
It all starts from the press, right? Alvarez is pressing. So when Alvarez presses, the opposition lose the ball and a rattle, right? Haaland doesn't press like Alvarez does. So all of a sudden, because we don't have that press, it's easier to play through. Again, I'm not saying Haaland is just saying that this is what we see, right? I mean, Don Smoke, do you say anything about that? Smoke.
Sorry.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I was so happy. Even one thing I think we must understand that that's why at times I feel bad for Haaland, right? And the reason why I feel bad for Haaland is you came in a team that just won 2 leagues back to back without a striker, right? So it's that thing of whereby we know how to do this and we can do this and we've been doing this successfully. And in terms of fluidity, you've seen it. In terms of players are more comfortable when they resort to type, and type being a false nine or a player who moves in those directions. You could see the way after that first opening spell from Brighton, about first 10 minutes when we were trying to understand what exactly is happening. Man, you could literally snooze through the game in terms of we were actually dictating the game, and I was so happy in terms of, and I think big up Akanji. People don't understand. For me, it's still one of the best bargains we've received at City. Because let's be honest, if you were to buy a player like Akanji now, the way he's playing, let's say we don't have Akanji, we're looking for a centre back. How much you think we would buy him for, Patrick?
About 90 million.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And he and the way we played yesterday, him and also Vardiol was so important because they allowed us, him and Walker allowed us to stretch the pitch. When Walker doesn't have to worry about defending, I think Walker, you got to see the best of his attributes, because Akanji gives us that assurance policy of the fact that we can't be counted, because Akanji is also fast. People don't understand how fast Akanji is, right? And you saw him run with a couple of guys. Man, yesterday, I think, I don't know when last we played that good. Maybe the Villa game. Man, we were so fluid on that pitch. The way everyone was interchanging. Man, that was such a beauty to watch. And I understand why rivals will say that was boring. Because if you're on the other side, man, you won't understand how enjoyable that was. And you could see Foden and KDB. They were literally picking the moments of, okay, it's my turn to take the central area. And, Alvarez, man, that boy's work rate. His work rate, his positioning, of course. He's not going to score you as much as you'd expect, because let's be honest, if Alvarez had Haaland's game time this season, he'd probably be sharp out his finishing. But he's that time whereby whenever he's on the pitch, he has to take every moment because he knows it would be his last, which makes players rush certain decisions. But boy, that was that the pressure, and mind you, it's a title charge, right? Whereby every game we can't afford to draw. So the pressure is on, and the way he played yesterday, so relaxed, so composed on the ball, so fluid. Man, I was in love with that. I don't know about you, Gundo, but I was so happy, man.
Yeah, it was incredible, Don Smoke, to watch. The fluidity, the balance, the control, the short passing, using Edison, Akanji running back to cover, just go wide. Walker even found joy. I think we found the balance. If Walker's going to push up, and I'm thinking about the Spurs game, right? The Spurs game, right? We need to have Walker. Walker's going to play high and wide. We need to have Akanji there to cover, because he has a pace to recover, right? Not Diaz against Son, because that's a disaster, if you would, right? And we've seen it time and time again. If Walker's going to play high and wide against Spurs,
I think to step into what Gundo was saying, I think defensively yesterday, that for me, that's barring Stones, that's our best backline.
I agree.
You can go on, Gundo. I was just taking over while you dropped.
No, I think you said it all. I think that's the best back line, barring Stones. Akanji's quick, agile. He can build the ball really well. Walker's quick, can play that fullback overlapping run, and he was good yesterday. To be fair, he was good. I won't lie. I'm his harshest critic, but he was decent. And then Josko was just Josko. Just so good on the ball. And then in the middle, you have all these crazy midfielders. We have Bernardo, De Bruyne, Rodri, Kovacic, and then you have Phil Foden in the middle. And then Alvarez floating left to right. Well, what else can you ask for, man? 3-2-5. Perfection.
What about Hong? What do you think of yesterday's game, man?
Well, honestly, we know, to be truthful with you, Patrick, like, it was not all about the 3 points. It wasn't about performances, because we're at the business end of the season, like, where results matters, performances don't. And, I'm personally glad that we got the 3 points, because we needed to make sure that we keep pace at the top. But I think, what Pep is instilling this new system, man, it just shows you why he's, in my opinion, the best manager of all time. He just finds new ways of playing, and it's like basically, like there's a quote from Rowdy Roddy Papa: "Just when you thought you have all the answers, I change the questions." And that's what Pep does. Pep changes the questions and asks the opposition, "What can you do against this?"
I love that, Hong. I love that quote, man. Could you send that to me in the WhatsApp group? I love it.
It's So like it's I'll do it. So I'll repeat again. Like the great Rowdy Roddy Pop, like the late great Rowdy Roddy Piper, the wrestling legend,
Yeah,
like says, just when you thought you have all the answers, I change the questions. So
yeah,
basically, Pep changes the questions to the opposition, telling them, "What do you have for us this time against this kind of system?" It's like, oh, so you're playing this way now. So how can we figure that out? So that now the for the managers, that's for the coaches coming up in our remaining 5 games of the Premier League and the FA Cup final, they're gonna have to figure out how do we counter against this, because what Pep doesn't want to do get is to get opponents to really figure out how you could play against City, thinking, oh, City are easy to play against. Now it's like, now I gotta figure out how do I counter against this team. So this is gonna I think it's gonna be I think Pep is experimenting this new system for the remaining 5 games while not messing about when it comes to getting results in the business end of the season. You're gonna see this system going into next season with new personnel coming in, and it'll be like mixing around. So I think Pep and Tiki are working together to figure out which players that Pep wants to use for this new system upcoming for next season as well. And I think I just love the system fluidity. It was fluid. Everybody, like I said, every player knows what they're doing in this system. It's like they don't get confused. They just simply understand what Pep demands from this, and they executed the game plan to perfection. And Brighton, they just did not have an answer, and they just and you know what the thing is, like, the fair play to them, they tried to play out for the back against us, but City are better at doing it.
I still like that kid Bako, and I see why Pep and City wanted him. That Bako kid at the age of 18, some of the passes he was passing, my God, and some of the moments when he dribbles past and he even defended a bit. I know sometimes he got done by, but he's a kid, and that was one of his first games, I think. So of course, they're saying he's been thrown in. I understand why the kid had hype. I think that's a modern fullback, and I like the kid. I don't know if you guys liked him, the
Patrick,
left back for Brighton. Yeah, go ahead.
to Huang's point, the thing is, if you look earlier back in the season when we were mad at Pep, when he was trying to play Walker and Vardiol up high, I think this is what he was preparing for. We just had the wrong personnel for it at that time, because you had Diaz and I think Akanji. I don't remember what exactly was happening, but that thing of whereby you had whereby if you have Vardiol, right, who's very good on the ball, right. I think it's between him and Stones, who's the best ball playing centre back that we have on the ball skills. That boy could actually play as a wing. When you see him go up the pitch, if, unless someone tells you he's a defender, you wouldn't know he's a defender. He's that good on the ball, right? Whereby now you have the defensive, because if you saw what was happening, this is what Rodri was doing for Spain, whereby Rodri became the third centre back, allowing Akanji to play right centre back, and you had Arquette left centre back, right? And then you have Kovacic sitting on that 6, and then it's either but Bernardo most of the time was the one who was joining the pivot, and you had that pivot in front of them. Whereas and then you have KDB and Foden in front of them, and with Alvarez. I feel as if Pep was trying to do this the whole season. He just didn't have the people to do it. So hence he reverted back to type in order to be a bit more pragmatic. But you can see now, because if even this against a low block, we will open it because of the movements. Because literally Brighton players, because Brighton tried to play man to man, but your man kept changing. And now remember, if you're gonna defend man to man before the game, you are assigned a man. Like, okay, you are gonna, like, for example, Baleba, you're gonna mark KDB, but KDB is playing now as a DM, and you're a DM this side. So do you leave your DM post to go be the center forward or attacking midfielder? So literally, as Huang said, these guys had no answers, because the question kept changing. So man, I want to see how far we're gonna go this, but I enjoyed, and hence it's a bit unfair now for Haaland, because Haaland now has to come back into this.
Yeah, it was very, very good. It was a good game. Let's be honest. And I said I still admire De Zerbi, and I think if De Zerbi was to, the thing about Brighton is they keep taking away the teams he's building. They keep breaking them, selling them off. I think if De Zerbi can be given a good team, I think he can do something. And let's not lie, he plays good football, and I think this football can be effective if he has players. And it's just unfair that, as I say, they keep taking players away, selling. That's what Brighton are, a selling club. But it is what it is, man. It was a 4-0. It was a good game. We move on to Nottingham Forest. I'll do a preview for that. Obviously, Arsenal play before us. They'll play Spurs away. Then we'll play Forest in the evening. In England, I think the first game is at 5:30 or 4 o'clock. But it is what it is, guys. Now we are 76 points with one game in hand, and they've got 77. We win our next game, obviously, because Arsenal will be playing before us and will be accumulating more points. It's a two-horse race. Does anyone think like Liverpool are out of this? Anyone? Before we close up, do you think Liverpool are still in this, or they're completely out now?
For me personally, I still think they're in it. I do think that if they lose one more game, I mean, you have to keep in mind they've got West Ham away and Villa away coming up. If they lose one of those, which I believe they will, I'm not too sure which one. They may lose to West Ham, they may lose to Villa, they may win. I have no idea. But I think the Everton loss has dented their confidence going forward into these remaining games. And I think they know if they drop points, then that's pretty much it for them.
Okay, cool.
To be honest,
anything else? Don't smoke.
no, I'm saying regarding Liverpool. To be honest, I don't really care of
Mm.
who is still in the title race. We win our games, we'll be the champions, and I think that's all that matters for me. Right? We've been here too many times to know it. At this stage, it's about what you do, not what your opponents. I think the moment Arsenal and Liverpool lost, for me, it became of okay. Are you willing to stand up and do what you need to do? And yesterday, the players showed us that they still have that hunger to get over the line, and that's all we need to worry about. For me, regardless of whatever Spurs do with Arsenal, it doesn't matter. Because the issue is when you start looking at other people's results, and that's when you will underperform, because then you put that unnecessary pressure on yourself. Whereby if you just look at yourself and what you have to do, it makes your job easier. So for me, just win and we are champions.
Yeah, that you've truly spoken. So, guys, that's it. That's the video, guys. Like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, guys, and subscribe to Pitch Points also. Thank you very much, Hong, Cow, and Don't Smoke. I'll see you for the preview for the Nottingham Forest game if you're there, or I'll do a lineup show. And I'm trying to see if I can do a watch along for one of the last games, just to test out a watch along. But it is not very easy because I've seen people lose their minds during watch alongs. But thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you for all the support. Apologies, I couldn't do some of the reactions. I had the artwork ready, but I didn't have time. But I was like, I'm gonna do this one for you guys because some people were asking, "Where's the reaction for the Brighton game?" But have a blessed afternoon. It's very hot in Dublin. It's very good. So see you guys. Goodbye.